All right, now that you've identified the most interesting innovation opportunity you're ready to pitch, I'm going to spend just a couple minutes now talking to you about how to turn that interesting idea into a compelling pitch. And one of the things you're going to realize is that making a good startup pitch, making a good innovation pitch is something that really requires you to think a little differently about what you want to get out of the pitch, what you want to have accomplished from it, and most importantly, is what is the goal of this pitch. And so it's important to understand here is that one of the biggest challenges that people have when they get excited about their innovation idea is they want to basically tell the judges and the people listening to pitches everything. You want to basically tell them, oh my God, this is all this cool stuff that's happening in that way. And they want to spend a bunch of time sort of identifying everything that's interesting about it for the people that are listening to it. Now, here's the most important thing to understand about a great startup pitch. A great startup pitch is not about convincing someone to buy or to invest. The more important thing to understand is that a great startup pitch is about making them curious enough that they want to learn more. Remember, that's really what's going on here. The judges are people who've been in the startup space, they understand things, and most importantly, what you want to do is you want to intrigue them enough that they want to see this movie play out. Because remember what's going to happen. They're going to be listening to 50 plus pitches, and they're going to have an opportunity to sort of say, these are the 9 to 11 that are the most interesting that I want to hear how the story ends in 4 days. And that's really what you're trying to do. You're not trying to convince them why they should buy right now and make the choice, but you want to tell them like, this is intriguing and this is why they should want to buy, why they should want to buy at the end of the story that's going to be happening in a couple of days. And so let me give you a couple slides here to walk through you as you start to think about how you're going to make this pitch to help you a little bit. Again, these are just some examples that can help you, and hopefully this will give you some insight as you go along the way. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to sort of think about the 1 minute startup pitch very quickly. So first thing to understand here is that what is a pitch? It's just simply a short explanation of your startup idea. It's really meant to be concise and simple. It's not meant to give them all the answers. It's not meant for them to understand everything. For your case, it's going to be about a 60-second pitch. Now, I will have the alarm go off at 60 seconds, but if you need to spill over for another 15 seconds or so, I won't give you the hook. At 75 seconds, I'm going to start to motion you off. So remember, you want to keep this concise and focused, and the goal of this pitch is a short explanation to want them to learn more. Now, the second thing is like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Well, you want to make sure you do a couple things. Who is the person who's benefiting from this sort of innovation you have? Kind of what's the problem that that person is sort of struggling with? What is a short version of what you're trying to do? And why is this awesome? You want to do all those things in a very short window of time. And that's really the goals of what we're trying to do. Now, you're doing it all in 1 minute. So again, people may oftentimes think, oh my gosh, I got to cram so much in. Remember, it's not about cramming everything in. It's about getting the right things to give them enough information to be intrigued, but not to necessarily know everything they need to do to make their decision. They're just identifying what are the most promising and exciting opportunities that they believe that have potential to be something very, very interesting on Saturday. Now, a couple of things that I think are important to understand, and one of the things I would tell you you really want to make sure you invest in is what we call the hook. Now, this is the thing that I think many people struggle with as they do these ones, is they sort of launch into these ideas and they think about that their pitch should crescendo at the end. Right at the minute, it should get super exciting at the end. And what they fail to realize is that the best startup pitches grab your attention right away. You want to grab them right away in the first 5 to 15 seconds. So they're excited and they listen more intently. And that's what we call the hook. There are ways to get them excited, but also to help them very quickly understand what it is. And so investing your time in this hook is really, really important as you prepare. Now, they should be memorable. They should be fun. I will tell you one of my favorite hooks from this class that came out a few years ago was from a guy named Sean Reedy. Now, Sean Reedy wanted to pitch an idea that was about a mobile haircutting thing. And, again, the judges are going to see 50 of these pitches. How do you stand out? And I remember very vividly, Sean walked up in the front here, and he was probably at the back half of this. We'd been listening to a bunch of pitches here, and Sean walked up and pulled a pair of scissors out of his pocket and said, I really need a haircut, but I don't have time. And he literally pulled a lock of his hair up and cut it. I'm so desperate that I'm about to cut my own hair. Now, what I'm going to show you today is an idea so we don't have to cut our own hair. And I remember the judges looking at Sean and seeing him carrying hair in his hand and doing this pitch. There was no way they couldn't select him to win. And so that's one of the reasons why he was selected as one of the 10. Now, you don't have to get that crazy and cut your own hair, I promise you. But you do need to think about how you grab their attention right away so they won't forget you. Now, there's different types of hooks as you're thinking about your pitch that are important. And again, I would say invest heavily in this hook because grabbing our attention is really important. There's stories that are hooked. This idea to sort of tell a personal story is really important. I traveled to Spain last summer. My grandmother's an amazing cook. My brother failed his driver's test. At work, we are struggling with blank. Tell a personal story or a story from someone else that helps us understand and relate to the idea very quickly. So stories are really powerful. Examples, this idea here of what this could do. Imagine if you could make extra money just by doing your homework. We could have matched you a better roommate. You could take better photos in Africa. Again, talk to your audience in a way that helps give an example of what this would do for them, the solution thing they could provide. An analogy. Again, this is one that I see very commonly. We are Uber for kittens. We are Snapchat for grandparents. We are favorite driving teacher learning how to drive. This analogy thing works really well, and similar a metaphor. Telling something that helps us paint a picture for our listener can really, really work well. These are the key things to understand here. Similes are another one in that way. But the more important you're able to kind of, again, give something that helps us grab our attention, the better. And that's the powerful thing about using a hook. Now, the key thing to understand is as you step into your pitch, I recommend you do two things. Number one, I recommend that you walk up and introduce yourself and describe your company with a name. Hi, my name is Eric Custer, and I'm the founder of blank. Whatever you're going to call this name, pick a name for it right away. The important thing is to grab their attention, because what judges will typically do is they'll write down the name of the idea to remember it. And so the more you're able to name this company, even no matter what it is, this innovation approach you're doing, I'm the founder, I'm the innovator of blank is important. Name it. Even if the name changes, that's important to do. So name that one and then go right in the hook. That's going to take you the first 10 to 15 seconds here to name yourself. Hi, I'm the founder of, I'm the innovator behind, and name the idea, give it a name, and then give us the hook. Then tell us what the problem is. The reason this is important is X. We're going to Y, and then go back to the thing again. I'm the founder of this, and what we're going to do is blank in that regard. So that's the suggested structure I have, all within a minute here. Now remember, key thing to do is understand this. Introduce yourself up front of why this is important for you to be the person. I am this person behind it, and I've been in this space for a while. I understand this one. So an example here is my name is John. I'm a futurist and designer creating the next generation of drone videography tours for the real estate industry. We now understand you. We understand what's important about you and why this matters. Share the problem. In this way, this example, have you ever tried to buy and sell a house lately? It's really challenging. All things look the same. And so that's some of those things that really go deeper onto the problem itself. The solution is tell us what you're going to do. Very problem focused on the answer. We're going to create a stylized package of videos shot by drones on the real estate industry to give you a better look at your house. Very simple for us to understand. And then why is it awesome? This is why this thing is awesome. Here's what I am. Here's the company name. And this is why this thing is really, really cool. Practice it if you can. It really will help you in those regards. And again, I remember the key things sort of as you're attacking this one. The most important thing is introduce yourself and name the concept that you're working on. Give us a hook that grabs our attention, and then focus on what is the problem you're solving for your customer or for your user, and why is the solution going to do something powerful then. The pitches themselves are not things that will need tons and tons of technical terms, tons and tons of things, but the most important thing is to remember the following thing. You are trying to convince the judges that they want to see the end of the movie. They want to see there's something promising, exciting here, that they want to see a team of 5 highly competent MBAs working on this project over the next 4 days to sort of see how it ends. And that's the most important thing that judges tell me over and over and over again. They want to hear, well, how did they do? How did these ones end up with? So remember, as you're pitching, that's the important things to understand here. Remember, as you're doing this, try to clarify what you're trying to do, why you're the right person to do it, and give us a sense of why this is going to be a fun adventure for those days. So that's how you will attack these pitches. Again, don't overthink about it. Don't worry, but practice it in some ways. And I do recommend, if you're able to do this without notes, the better. If you need to have a note card, feel free to do it. But it's better than sort of reading it straight off in that way. That doesn't create as much of a compelling story. The best way for you to do this one is to sit down and be able to kind of, again, just speak directly to the judges, tell them exactly why you're excited, and get them to give you that feedback. And remember, all of you listening to the pitches from the other people are going to have a chance to give your vote for the one that you're most excited about as well, so that we can make sure not only the judges' feedback and your feedback help us pick the 9 to 11 most exciting, promising ideas that we're going to work on. With that, we'll see you all on Wednesday. Get ready for a fun adventure, and I cannot wait to take you into the next phase of this journey. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of the couple days here, and we'll see you on Wednesday morning, bright and shiny early. Get ready for some fun adventure creation, guys. Be well. Bye.